it's not supposed to be, but I'm telling you, the landscape speaks for itself. It is cold.
I got to 26 today.
Oh, dude, you know what I forgot? I forgot my extra pair of shoes. Darn it. I was in such a hurry. I was running behind.
But are you really running behind?
In my mind, I am. Like, I had everything ready to go when he got off work. But, you know, my eyes were heavy this morning, and I decided to set the phone down while I was, in her mama's. She was taking Uncle Daddy home from his cardio rehab. He's got one more week. It's supposed to be finished today, but with the holidays, the way they've fallen, he's got one more week. And so I set the phone down and closed my eyes because they were heavy, and I'll tell you what, I fell asleep. There are a few channels I can fall asleep with, and I'm telling you, it's like being at home, and then Mama's is one of the, typically I don't fall asleep with hers, but if I do, I ain't gonna worry about it because, yeah, her channel feels like home. So, and some folks want us to source, and I think basically the only budget we have is the source from our storage unit in South Central Kansas. Now, the question is, will we be able to get to it with all the snow? Because they got snow too.
They didn't get nothing like we did.
Oh, they didn't? Oh yeah, because they're below I-70 Marvel. Yeah, the break is always I-70, seriously. Anything I-70 and above, it's usually massive.
When I first moved to Kansas, 20,
Yeah, you've been the 20 years. Dude, don't make yourself older than you are. You're not.
24 years ago when I moved to Kansas the first time, I was living up off the interstate just across the Colorado border, and they all warned me, if Colorado gets snow and it moves down 70, brace for it. It'll go all the way across Kansas down 70.
It does, too, don't it?
It does.
So, the storm that hit the south was projected to hit us. You realize that, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of glad it missed us. I'm done with snow.
Well, yeah. I mean, Colorado could be stupid for a number of reasons, but we're not going to discuss it in my chat. Some opinions just need to stay out of my chat. I gotta look for a second because I had it up on the dash. I just removed the comment because, you know, it was unnecessary.
Yeah, no hate, people. No hate.
Well, it wasn't a person hating a person. It was someone saying their opinion about Colorado.
Now, they only got a very, very small
My
house.
phone is getting hot being up in that window. So, we're going to pull it. Because this phone, if it overheats, it will shut down. So, out in the air for a minute, because I've got to, like... Wouldn't that be the y'all go flying?
You just bent
That would be... Maybe I should get a little thing to attach it to. That way if I ever have to stick it outside. Yeah, it's still hot, but hopefully I get it out the window in time it won't shut down.
Are we there yet?
Really, we're not even off the interstate.
I know.
On to the next one.
I know. I need a pilot's license and my own private jet. I need to get rich.
Hey, Scottish. Welcome in. Welcome in, y'all. Let's see. I wonder if you have to do that every time. You shouldn't have to. That would be crazy, right? Where you have to go in every time you go live. Just set.
It's kind of cool getting the new people to pop in.
As long as everyone behaves. I'm not a political page. I'm not a political channel. So, aside from that, where are you right now? I am
just outside of Kansas.
Yeah, just outside Abilene, Kansas. We're westbound on I-70. To stick y'all outside the window again, just so we can get the phone to cool down. So one thing I don't like about this device is when I stick it in the window, it overheats fairly quickly, and when it does, they don't give much warning. It will shut down even if I'm live. So yeah. Got snow. So those that don't know where Abilene is on I-70, kind of north central Kansas.
About an hour and 40 minutes from Topeka.
Yeah, about an hour 40-ish. I mean, as long as you're not, pedal to the metal, about an hour and 40 minutes from west of Topeka. It's also the boyhood home of the late Dwight Eisenhower, the president, So yeah, we're just, I'd say 7 to 10 minutes east of Abilene. Get the phone out of the direct sunlight for a minute. See if that'll help too. Otherwise, y'all's gonna have to go in out in the air again, and there's always that risk that it might go flying, and I mean that would make one heck of a YouTube, I think, but it would suck because it would be without a device. Exit's 275. And it's Abilene Clay Center. Just a little over a mile from there.
This spring and summer we'll come over here and do a lot of the sightseeing stuff and do lives.
Yeah, a lot of things we're going to do this spring. We're going to show folks where the city That was sorry about that. Yeah, see the sign? The sign says Eisenhower Presidential Library and Museum. And it's actually on this exit. You go down this exit, you hang a left, and you go about a mile or so down the road, and that's where it's at. I've never, went and walked through it, but yeah, it exists. It's there. she's lived several lifetimes in that 8 or so decades she's been, the sun's evolved around her. My last appointment, which would have been a month ago, because I have monthly medical appointments, travel appointments. It became overly apparent to me that, not that I hadn't thought about it, but I hadn't really considered the impact it had on my grandmother. She lost two very pivotal people. I lost them too, but those were her immediate supports. They're in South Central Kansas. And so I talked it over with her, and I'm like, hey, I have these appointments every month. I gotta come down anyways. You want me to stay an extra day? And she's like, do that for me? And I'm like, you really gotta ask that?
So you can tell the snow's lessening.
Yeah, the snow's. Of course, in different parts of I-70, they got different amounts of snow. So yeah, let's see. I've got to make an email later. Reach out to some folks. So, because my schedule this next week's changing a that way if we can get on the road a little early, we can. The only time where we involve Grandma is if we're going to be late and she's expecting that way she doesn't worry, because my grandmother is familiar enough with our state and the states around us. I mean, one time, 55 was the fastest you could go. And it was like doing 95 down the interstate.
I remember when they changed the speed limit.
Yeah, I remember too. Yeah, does that make us old?
Yes, it makes us old. I remember when all the tags in Colorado for our county were VG.
Yeah, I remember that too. I remember when it was 6 dash and the last 4.
Yeah.
I remember when you used to call the operator.
Say, hey, I need connected to this number,
Yeah.
please.
How the world has changed in many, many ways. I'm going to grab this out for a minute because we have a clover leaf. They're taking 135 south. 135 south. Put your signal on.
Just trying to get so I can shoot.
I know, but there isn't a whole lot of room before you hit the clover. Yeah. It'd be rare to get back on the interstate. Because, sometimes I go NASCAR speed.
You still get a ticket.
I know. Don't create my own traffic. Don't create my own traffic. Alright, so I-17 now. We are on 135. Yes, the roads are rough. We're on 135. And that's got to be what it was. It was overheating the phone, because now it's not overheating.
Right.
And we need to pay attention, because exposure's a real thing if we don't use had to get eventful. We worked road construction. Because you know, when you're holding a sign on a highway, a major highway, and the next guy holding a sign is, what, 5 to 7 miles down the road?
The next guy holding the sign was a mile to the side road, and then it was 12 miles to the other side.
Yeah, that's what I meant. From one side to the... Alright, so it's 12 miles.
Yeah, that's why the radios didn't cross from one end to the other.
But if our pilot car was somewhere in between, about halfway, we could hear the other side. It's the only time we knew where the pilot car was, approximate, depending on which way they were going. Because we could hear the other side. And that was up by Lyman. You know, in the first 3 weeks of us working road construction, we had a tornado out in our zone.
We froze to
We
death,
froze to death,
and then we got soaked.
and we got soaked. We had like all 4 seasons in the first 30 weeks of us working that road construction job. So let's do NASCAR Fest.
Yeah. And they slowed down too.
Yeah, they did. Come slow down. So yeah, it was just the air coming from the dash.
Yeah, it's just the natural air that comes up when it's on to help keep the window flat.
It's pretty easy to pull off so I can get in. Just asking. We're actually south this morning.
Yeah. I might just pull off on 86. So it should go down and come back.
Yeah, it should go down and come back up.
So when you get in this, you cannot just floor it, or you will blow a radiator hose off of the heater core.
Oh yeah. You act like I do NASCAR fans.
You have a tendency when you go to get going, you just floor it.
I do it right here because I can't tell how far the other side is. Now, are you teaching my driving?
No, I'm just want to make it.
Hey, go behind.
Sit for just a second.
Huh?
Said you're gonna sit for just a second.
Do you need me to,
No. Don't mind.
All right. You're killing me. Killing me, Smalls. Killing me. Alright, so don't put the pedal to the metal.
Right. This van has a couple of the same issues as the new one that was just bought by our oldest. It's got leaky gaskets that leaks oil, and they really leak bad if you floor it, and then that radiator hose coming up to the heater core kind of scares me. You're still muted, aren't you?
No, I'm not muted.
Okay.
monetized. Because I do vape, so anything where I'm vaping, I can't be monetized. But and typically I don't vape on camera, but last 5 or so months, there's been certain days where if I didn't have it, I don't know if I could be live because I'm the rest area, just north of McPherson.
I'm taking it we must be in a dead zone.
Probably. Well, you remember that invisible line that we crossed with cell towers? We're really close to it.
Yeah, state parks, we have, right where we live, we've got, what, 3 of them? 2 for sure that have all the facilities, and then we have a state lake.
So I-70 crosses. So Kansas is state for the center of the continental U.S. Doesn't matter how you slice it or dice it. But there's an actual Pacific area. But aside from that, I-70 is the interstate that comes in from Colorado and exits through Kansas City, Missouri.
70 runs literally 3/4 of the nation. It's kind of like what Highway 287 is. Runs from Canada to Mexico.
Yeah, and 287 is where we did our skin on road construction. Back in the day.
So there's marketplaces link for tonight.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Stuffy.
And so we're literally in the middle of the continental U.S. heading down towards Oklahoma and Texas, that direction.
We're staying in the state of Kansas, but where we live, even if I was to get my medical treatment, I'd be going to Kansas City for it, and that's still 2 hours out. Depending on road conditions and traffic in the day, coming to South Central Kansas is 2.5 to 3 hours. And my grandmother is still living, so she lives down here. So it makes sense in person. You're welcome, Shirley.
And that's what's cool about doing a road trip live is people like you get to see what, the continental U.S. looks like down here.
Now, where we live up in the Flint Hills, which is also right next door, quite literally for us, right next door to Fort Riley, we're about a little over an hour from the center of the continental U.S. as a whole. So this spring, we're going to, because of road conditions and all that, it'll be the spring, we're going to take a road trip from where we live to the center so people really know where the center of the continental U.S.
for Christmas dinner, we normally go and eat with one of our local churches that does hot meals for anybody, but you get a lot of your yeah, it's a community meal, so you get a lot of your homeless and that coming in. With our outreach stuff, we kind of get a chance to hang out and eat dinner with them and talk to them and connect a little more with them. But we missed that because about a half hour before that, our oldest looks at me and says, "Hey, we got to run to the other town that's 15 miles the other direction from where we were going to go eat, because I just found you guys a couch for free." So we went and picked up a couch. That was our Christmas. So then we drove into the Little Apple and decided to...
oh, that's right. Surely.
And decided that we were going to try to figure out somewhere to buy some food to cook, because we had nothing thought. We didn't cook a meal. And we ended up at a little Hispanic store.
Meat market.
A little meat market. We bought some meat stuff, and I did steak fajitas for Christmas dinner. So it was kind of neat.
Thank you, Shirley. You know, my mama was an orphan, and people might get tired of me saying that, but it's a fact. By the time she was 14, both her parents were gone. I know. Both her parents were gone out of this world. Her dad had set up for a family to take her and her brother in, but what he didn't know was the family was only interested in the benefits, the financial benefits that they would get. So my mama really was on her own at 14, and she was single most of her adult life. I mean, my dad was in and out of our lives, and she tolerated that because she was an orphan, and so she figured, you know, a part-time parent was better than no parent. But she raised us colorblind, and she raised us to treat people the way you want to be treated.
So Shirley said she lost her mom before Christmas, and we love our moms.
Love our mamas.
Yeah, and said her mom had her at 16 years old, young.
Yeah, I had Jess when I was 16. I was actually exactly 16 years and 11 months old. So I had Jess exactly a month before my 17th birthday, so I can just that, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good Christmas adventure. It was actually probably one of the better Christmases we've actually had. It was simple.
Yeah, we kept it simple. I mean, what we ended up fixing was fajitas,
Yeah,
right?
steak fajitas.
Some of the best steak fajitas. So I'm the oldest of 3 out of my parents.
I'm an only child.
I have an Irish twin. He's my brother. So I was 10 months and 27 days old when he was born. And then the fool my mama raised, I'm exactly 102 weeks to the day older than her. And well because my stepmother, who married him 5 days before, still alive, but she died 5 months later.
Hey,
Auntie Mama, Central, Kansas, Interstate 135. We are now on 61, headed south. So we are between McPherson, quite literally,
Hutchinson.
and Hutchinson. Hutchinson, Kansas is where most people get their table salt from.
Yep, Morton's got their mine there, and then we'll be down about 40 minutes from Wichita, Kansas, which is the airplane capital of the world.
Yeah. It's where Cessna's built, it's where Spirit's built.
Yeah, road trip. We're on our way down for medical appointments tomorrow. So I got switched my days around and ran 7 days straight. So I could come down this time too.
Yeah, Mr. Stuffy hasn't been with me for last 3 or 4 trips down.
Yeah, I figure every 3 months I'll reorganize my schedule. I think when I was thinking about it today when I was cutting meat, that if I go every 3 months, it should hit right between our peak periods for the store.
And then my grandmother is still living, so she will be 87 this year. And in 2024, not 6 months apart, we lost 2 pivotal people in our family. And those were her support people for down here in South Central Kansas.
So our youngest kind of stuck up and has been going by every week and visiting her, but he's getting ready to move another state over.
Yeah, he's getting ready to, start the newest chapter of his life. I mean, it's already been young, but
Yeah, I've got both my mom and my dad yet. All sets of my grandparents are gone, so her grandma is my grandma. I'm excited to be able to hang out with one of the coolest 86-year-olds I've ever met.
she's feisty. I think she'd like you too, but she could not. Seriously, she could not tolerate the stress that the tube can bring to people. So, I've entertained it here and there, but she has a lot of stressors when it comes, or she ends up with health issues when she has stressors, and I'm never going to allow YouTube or any other platform to be a stressor for her.
So that's a good thing, right, Shirley? We've got our 2 adult kids that have disabilities that live with us. And then we've got
Our soldiers.
And one lives down in this corner of Kansas. The other one lives up by us. Actually, we live by them because they were the first ones to move up there.
Yeah.
We're a tight-knit family, so it's really hard when the kids are all separated. Yeah, I'm glad they do too, as long as it was a good situation. Her dad moved 14 hours away, so her son and her daughter live with her.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I dream about maybe having an empty nest.
But then our kids go stay somewhere for a couple nights and then we miss them.
Yeah, Firecracker's been staying with Jess and Elise. That happened yesterday. Because she really didn't feel like going on this trip, and I'm like, that's cool, but you need some extra support. And they got it all arranged, so Firecracker is kicked the bucket during this Arctic storm, and just one thing after another. At the beginning of the week, I actually had an emotional moment, not live or anything, but just frustrated because I didn't see how this trip was going to happen. But here we are, you know. But, you know, a lot of people, different people from, you know, no matter where, they'll compliment Mr. Stephanie, or they'll compliment me, whether it's my packaging or just the fact that they jump in our chats. And because of who we are as far as the compliments, and I'm like, for me it's just lifestyle, right? Like, yeah, I'm having to get used to it because it's just who I am. My mama taught me, and my grandmother instilled it in me too. You know, you treat people the way you want to be treated. And so what I do for other folks is what I would like done for me. Not maybe immediately, but somewhere in my life. You know, hey, if I need a cup of sugar, you know, you have the ability to do it. You know, that type of thing. But I don't sit there and keep track of what I do for folks. It's just who I am. God is good.
God is very good.
You know, I don't sit there and praise enough on any platform about God, but I do mention my faith.
You see a lot of vets become homeless, and there's a few reasons why. One,
First and foremost,
some want to be.
some of them choose to be, and I know it's difficult to hear that.
We've got 2 or 3 that live in the wooded areas around where we live.
Yeah, one of them I actually ran into him a couple months ago. Literally, we were in the same place and we bumped into each other, and he put his hand on my shoulder, and the moment I felt his hand, I'm like, that's someone familiar. I looked around and I was in disbelief, and I'm like, what are you doing back here, man? Because we work with other organizations, location, and for one reason or another, life brought him back to that area.
But the other reason why that I see that a lot of them become homeless is they exit the military, and he does not get any hurry whatsoever to get you your financial side. So in that 2 to 3 year period that it takes VA to decide they're going to pay you, stuff happens.
Well,
You know, there's no support system for them.
a lot of that falls onto the exit from the military. It doesn't matter what branch. Let me see if I can get. The sun's already below the horizon, but yeah, it's not going to justify the color, but it's pretty. We're just north of Hutchinson, getting ready to come in now. And you know why? It just hit me. I've been doing interstate speed.
Good thing you didn't pass God.
Right? Yeah, it just hit me. I didn't change my speed when it came on got off the interstate. I just hit resume.
And you know, if you ever feel like helping like the homeless vets or whatever, remember stuff like peanut butter, stuff like that that doesn't take up a lot of room and can be resealed is a big deal when they're out in the wilderness or on the street. Hand warmers that you can pick up for a little and nothing.
Well, she's in Canada.
Right, I don't know in Canada what, but like the hand warmers, if you find socks for real cheap somewhere, grab socks. Any extra blankets you got laying around, stuff like that, stuff that they can roll up and put in their bag and carry with them, but still, like socks are a huge deal. They teach you that even in the military, that the number one thing that you have to have is socks.
because they do fire watch essentially. It's making sure, everything's run smoothly overnight while everyone's getting the rest they need. But it's making sure that those folks that choose, not everyone that's homeless chooses to be homeless, but there is an actual statistic for veterans that choose to live outdoors. And that's for a number of reasons why every veteran's different as to why they are that way. We're talking about if they're choosing that, right? And it's been a hard pill for me to swallow, like one of them for sure. We had the ability to get the resources available, working with other organizations to get them out of straight. But quite literally, they would never use the housing. They would always choose to sleep outside. And so, we just would catch up with them as best we can. They always have a way to get a hold of us.
Yep, they have our cell phone numbers.
And
one of the local organizations makes sure that they stay in a phone no matter what.
Yeah.
So they know, even at 3 in the morning, they call our phone and say, I'm in a bad way, I'm freezing to death. They know we're going to get up, get dressed, and go pick them up.
No matter where they're at. But that's just who we are.
Depending on the person, they may be sleeping in my vehicle and I may be sleeping in the back of it, but,
Right now we've got one military Arctic grade sleeping bag.
Well, it's vintage. On top of that, it's an old one.
Yeah, it's an old one, and I don't think it's ever been used. And then
I don't have the blue one anymore because it was part of the stuff that got stolen out of our storage unit.
yeah, so we're down to that one. Yeah, because I had one homeless kid in our storage. So in the event because we typically carry one with us, that way if we were in the area for say like today and it's needed, we can have someone else go get it. But when our storage was broken into in September, that was one of the items taken.
Same with the tent.
Yeah, we had a brand new tent. We bought tents. We found them on clearance, so it was decently affordable. That's all stuff out of our pocket. We don't get assistance getting that back. Because what we do outreach-wise, we do that privately. So, but that's just who my mama raised. That's all contributed to her.
My grandma and grandpa raised me the same way. When I was out there, my grandma had won the TLC award, the Tender Loving Care Award in the hospital that she had worked in for 20 years.
So we got about 20 minutes if this clock's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright. Got about 20 minutes before
we jump off and get on to Marketplace Boutiques and support her tonight.
We're gonna get on Marketplace Boutique. She is we're in that area. Sorry, y'all. We're gonna lose reception.
Hi, Jessica.
Welcome in, Jessica. We are about 40 minutes from our destination tonight. We are in Hutchinson. It's gonna be too dark to go by the salt mine, but since Mr. Steph's with me on our way back through Saturday,
Go through the salt mine.
we're gonna drive by the salt mine on our way back. So I haven't eaten anything.
Neither have I.
so let's have to send you some money. Yeah, I just realized, and I haven't eaten, and it is almost 6. I'm sure my grandma would have something to fix, but she's single now. She's been a widow for almost 3 years. Less than 2
time
weeks.
Flies, man.
Less than 2 weeks. It'll be 3 years since she entered her widowhood. And we were there, told her we'd be there any way she needed to support her for her first years of widowhood. That's why when I mentioned the fact that we lost 2 pivotal people in our family this last year, and they were support for her. And we're talking emotional support more than anything, y'all, but still. When you're in your 80s, emotional support can be just as valuable as any other support. So, some people could say, "Oh, Steph, you're doing, you know what? My grandma's the last connection I have with anyone that has parent in their title that is related to me." So quite literally, it wouldn't matter if I was having my best sell day. If she called me and said she'd need me, I'd be like, "I'm out, y'all," and I would probably close out without even an outro. I love my grandma. And she's the one that drove to Texas in an F-150. It was an F-150, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A Ford F-150, and 3 adults in California. Somewhere up in China, Miss would be under my name, but Market.
There was 30 and then it disappeared.
Thank you so much. You too.
I think we lost everybody though.
Yeah. Well,
we're going to be getting off here pretty quick.
We're going to pull over here for a second because I need to get adjusted.
I like this Arby's. They give a big thing of napkins. So remind me tomorrow when I'm freaking out because I can't find my wallet. Up there.
Shirley says she's here.
Cool. We didn't lose everybody.
So I do know how we're going to do it.
Huh.
I have 2 phones that I'm on.
Yeah. Do you want me to go on to Marketplace on yours?
On this one.
Okay.
Make sure and click the thumbs up for me, please.
Backyard truckers here.
Hey, backyard. Caught me with a mouthful. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna go over and support Jody here, and looks like
9 minutes.
9 minutes from now.
Trying to get in.
You're fine. I'm gonna go ahead and head back on the road.
Yep, so we can get to.
Otherwise, my grandma like to time, and she knows how long it takes to get from point A to point B. She's calling, being like, and she'll be like that. It'll really start once it's dark, because she knows I don't typically like driving in the dark. And she encouraged. probably, what, 3 or 4 miles? We're still about a mile and a half, 2 miles. On the road again. I can't wait to get back on the road
Hey,
again.
John.
Hey, John. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're in Hutchinson, Kansas. We are in the southern part of the state. We are less than an hour from Oklahoma. Where we're going is about 35 minutes, depending on if Mr. Staff drives or if I drive. If I drive, I can have you in Oklahoma in less than 30 minutes. Just saying.
It's Hutchinson, Kansas.
It's Hutchinson, Kansas. Look up where your table salt. If you got table salt, look and see where it comes from.
9/10 of the road salt that they use all across the country comes from here too.
That too. And of course, we're getting through here late enough in the day that going by the salt mine isn't going to happen, but we're going to really aim to do it on Saturday because we won't be headed back this way until Saturday. Well, you know, going the opposite direction, but we won't be back in Hutch until Saturday. So here's that overpass. When we come off of it to the right, I don't know that you'll actually be able to see it, but technically you should. There is a state-run prison to the right. That's what the lights are. But between where I'm driving and their fence. Alright.
So there's the prison.
That's the prison. The underground salt mine's that way too. Not the same way as the prison, but the opposite way. But at the bottom of this hill, just behind the brown salt,
Is a little cemetery, and it is basically when you pass away in a state-run prison and there's no one to claim you.
no one claims you. That's where you end up if you die at that prison.
What road are we on?
61.
61. We're getting ready to get up on Highway 50.
Yeah, we're getting ready to get up on Highway 50. And Highway 50, where we are, runs to 135, all the way to what, Dodge City?
Yeah.
You know, the Old West? I got some pictures. I'm going to have to look and see if I can find them. I know they're on another platform. Dodge City.
Yeah, what was that, 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
There's one time where we met your parents in Dodge City, some firecracker to go spend the summer. It's been at least it was at least the summer before your aunt passed away. And she's been gone just longer than my grandpa, and he'll be gone, what, a week and a half, 2 weeks from now, 30 years? So
Yep.
yeah, this has been at least 4 years. So probably 5.
Surely, I like road trips. So do I, actually. I don't like being in the vehicle for an extended period, but it's always kind of nice to be able to see a different scenery. I would say we'd eventually come visit you, Shirley, but
We might one day if we ever get past it. Yeah, but we need to get those anyway so we can go to Mexico.
no, we're not going to. We're actually going to be about a half hour from Pratt.
Yeah, Pratt will have to be another trip because, like, they have enough shops that's going to take a whole day of sourcing. But there might be something tomorrow, I don't know, because I ain't got no cash on me. No, literally, everywhere down here requires cash. They don't do card. I mean, they do checks too, but I don't have checks either. But we'll see what happens. So I'm going to K-Town. So that's west of Wichita on 400. Wichita. Almost center between them. Except we're not going to. Alright, y'all. So Jody is, I don't know if she's live yet, but she is premiering on her channel. That is Marketplace Boutique. Mr. Stephanie dropped her link.
14.
Ah, shoot.
You're fine. You're already there.
No, I can still get back up there. Sorry, I'm used to the way I go. See, it says Wichita.
You could just take.
No, it's fine. I'll go up this way because I don't want to have to keep getting off on. Right.
Right. That's kind of my goal, Shirley. Is I want to meet as many cool people in person that we've met, you know, through the YouTube world.
I don't want to have to go through K-Town.
In turn of that, we get to see a whole bunch of different, you know, areas of the country. Because like John, he lives in California.
And we got people out in his neck of the woods
Yes,
that we grew up with. We just never went that way, but we're going to. I don't know if it'll be the spring or summer, but if not, it'll be the
Next year after that.
the year after that.
Long road trips take a lot of money and planning.
Yeah.
Because I don't like doing like how we did the last time when we went and picked Elisa.